Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, Sanjana. Good evening, Deepika. Good evening, Tanaya.
Good evening.
All the participants, a very good evening to all of you. And today we are starting with the fourth episode of Career Journey, Real World Insights. And we have with us Tanaya Deka. I'll put her on spotlight. Welcome, Tanaya, to the session.
Yeah, thank you, Sachi.
Yeah. And before we go ahead, I would like to share with you a brief journey of Tanaya from the field of work. Tanaya, do I have the permission to introduce yourself?
Yes, please go on.
Thank you. Welcome to the fourth episode of our podcast series. Today, we are honored to have with us a multifaceted professional, someone who has delved into various realms of architecture, entrepreneurship, as well as academics. Our guest is an architect, an entrepreneur, an academician with a rich experience spanning over 15 years in the industry. That's a big experience, Tanaya. She
Thank
has
you.
worn many hats throughout her career journey, serving as principal architect and the founder of Inscape Architects and Associates, as well as creative director and co-founder at Decor Decoded and design consultant, co-founder at Rodriguez LLP. Their journey includes stints as an assistant professor at Nirma University and Royal Global University, where they combine teaching with their practical expertise. I'm sure the students over here will learn something from you. Prior to academia, she has worked as a senior architect at K. Thomas and Associates and held positions at various architecture firms, both in India and abroad, including Design Incorporated in Mumbai and the firm Associates UK Limited in Navi Mumbai. With the belief that design should be a human-centric and driven by user-friendly approaches, our guest brings a unique perspective to the projects, emphasizing innovation in both design and technology. The unique work reflects a refined design sensibility, incorporating exciting plays of material and dedication to creating spaces with added values. Throughout her career, she has been engaged in both practice and research, constantly pushing the boundaries of architectural design. Today, we are excited to learn from the wealth and experience on insights into the world of architecture and entrepreneurship. Please join me in welcoming our guest, Tanaya Deka. Tanaya, it's over to you now.
Uh, Thank you, Sachi, and thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. So I think I don't need to introduce again because you gave all the details and the information. And so good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, dear students and all others who are present here today. And I really hope that you all are also equally excited as me today as I will be sharing my journey of 15 years, and definitely it will be a kind of an interactive session where you can also ask me at any point of time any question you feel like. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Sachi from Niche Academy for career guidance and study skills enhancement techniques. I think she is doing a very wonderful job for all the students, guiding them in a very wonderful and in a right way. So, to start with here, I would first like to say everyone that really gear up because now when I see 15 years down the lane of my journey and I look back, and I would definitely say that when Sachi approached me at that time, I looked back and I really thought about the journey, and I felt that yes, definitely it has not been an easy one. Definitely it has not been an easy one. It is quite full of ups and downs. But definitely I would say it has been an exciting one. And when I see myself today here, it really makes me proud to be in a position where I always dreamt of being. So to start with, my career started, my journey with architecture if I have to say, it started, since the days of my school, when I was in school. And to mention here that I belong to Assam, and at that point of time when I did my schooling, I was staying in a very small town of Assam, where the days were very different than today. We had no mobile phones, no internet, and no access to so much of information which the students get today. So, but I always had, and I was always fascinated with design, and I was very creative since my school days, and I always wanted to associate myself with a career which in which I will be associated with design and drawings. But at the same time, I was also interested and very good at mathematics. So it brought me into architecture, that where architecture, it's not only about about drawing and creativity, but here equally we require mathematics too at the same time. So with this, so I really used to wonder, in my whole batch, I think I was the only one who wanted to pursue this field of architecture. And in my whole batch, all my other friends and my classmates, they wanted to, go for subjects like medical engineering. So I always used to wonder that is there anything wrong with me to choose such an unconventional, you know, um, career, because at that point of time, 15 years back, and where I was staying, the scenario was like that. Very few people, and especially girls, used to pursue such a career. But I would like to mention here that I always believed in myself. I always believed what I wanted to do. I always knew what I wanted to do. I believed in my dreams, and I decided to pursue my dream career. And here I was also very lucky, I would say, that I had very supportive parents who always supported me and also believed me in my dreams. So definitely with their help, with their support, I could move ahead with my journey. And when I decided I wanted to do architecture, definitely I started to learn more about, drawings, architectural engineering drawings, aptitude, and it was all at the time there were no such coachings also available. So I started to self train myself, and then finally I appeared for the entrance exams, nata and AIEEE, and I got admission into the architecture course. So my college was under Anna University in Tamil Nadu, because at that time in Assam there was no architecture college, and we had in the whole east region we had architecture only in Jadavpur University, Kolkata. But I really wanted to, I also had this, I wanted exposure in my life. I wanted to see the world, because architecture really needs exposure. So I decided to move further, ahead of my own place, and I got admission into college, which was under Anna University, Chennai. And there I started, and I would say that was the first step of success to my dreams, because at the time it was really, I had a lot of hurdles which I had to face to get admission into, to move out of the place. But definitely here again, I would like to mention simple advice or suggestion for the parents, that parents should always support their children, always support their kids in whatever career they want to pursue, whatever dreams they have. So that is when, and yeah, so where I had left is like I had appeared for NATA and also AIEEE, and I finally got admission into the course of BH. and I was quite excited about that. But again, as you know, with every step of success, there comes again a lot of challenges which you have to face and you have to keep overcoming. So again, it was there were a lot of different challenges of staying in hostel, staying in a very different part of the country, different language, culture, food habits. So it all started with that. But here again, I was very, I would say, determined and focused. So these two words, determination and focus, are very important to be successful in any career. So, if you are determined and focused, so every challenge you will actually see it as a step to success. And I would say that every step of my journey, every challenge, I took it very positively, I would say, and I considered it as a step to success. And so here started my journey of 5 years journey of BRG. And finally, I could, after every hurdle, I could complete my BRG. And then I moved in the year 2008, and I moved to Mumbai after that because my parents were living here. I moved to Mumbai, and here Mumbai. Just after my pass out, I started with my practice. That is when I joined a firm in Vashi, the firm. It was an UK limited MNC, so I joined there and I started my career from there. I practiced after that. I practiced for many years, I would say, and I also joined different firms to get different experiences in different kinds of projects. And definitely, I would say that it has been a very, architecture is a very interesting journey. Not only, while we practice, we get to meet a lot of different people. While we are doing different projects, we get to know different scenarios, we get to visit different places, and it is not only in practice but also during the 5 years course of architecture. I think the best part was that I got a lot of exposure as we are involved with a lot of trips, a lot of study tours, industrial visits, and we also had a whole India tour where we were taken to different parts of the country. We were exposed to the different um, architecture, historical architecture, I would say, in different places of India. And I think I'm quite lucky enough to see, almost all the parts of the country and the different beautiful structures which exist. Uh, yeah. And so this exposure really increases your knowledge tenfold. I would say not only this year. So architecture is not at all a subject where you can gain knowledge from books. It's you here you can gain knowledge from your exposure, from traveling while you meet people, you talk people, you understand. So yeah, definitely here it increases your knowledge a lot. And this same thing continues while we are practicing architecture also, because we have to deal with a lot of people, I would say. And even when we are doing one project, there are a lot of people who are involved. So it is not only an architect, apart from the client and the architect, there will be different contractors, there will be structural engineer, there will be different consultants like landscape consultant, interior design consultant, and also there will be laborers at the site. So here it is very important to understand that you will be dealing with a lot of people in one project, and people from different, different facets, basically, I would say. So here again, this is definitely a positive thing, and also, but it brings with it a lot of challenges also, because you have to definitely know and understand how to deal with different people differently, and also get your work done at the same time. So that, that is where the journey starts. So apart from, our knowledge with design and and all the other subjects which we learn during the 5 years, there are many other different skills which are required in this field. So, here the first and the most important, I would say, the skill is definitely designing and creativity. Okay, so what happens is that design is and creativity is like our asset, which will take you far ahead if you are really creative. You can cross ahead quite faster, and that is the biggest asset we being architects we possess. But along with it, there are many other skills I would say that we need to have. So another thing is that next I would come up with communication skills. Communication skills is something which is, it is really the most important skill, because you should know to communicate, as I mentioned, with different people at different point of time differently. Okay, and to deal with them. And you have your ideas, you have your design, but if you cannot communicate properly um, with people, you will not be able to present your ideas. You will not be able to convince people about your design, about your creativity, and about your ideas. So, it is very important that you are good in your communication skills. And then next, I would say that definitely presentation. You have to be presentable. You yourself have to be presentable, and every design, every project starts with presentation. So presentation, so nowadays when we see in today's world, we have a lot of um, softwares where we can, we can learn to present, we can develop our ideas very differently, and we need to showcase. But we need to be very confident and believe first in our design, in our ideas, and at the same time present those ideas very confidently to the whole audience, whoever is viewing it. Because first, when we believe in our ideas, only then the world will believe in you. It is very important. And next thing, today, after 15 years, I would say that the next important and most required skill is networking, which definitely nobody will mention during your academics in your college while you are studying. But when I see myself today running my own firm and hustling and to go ahead, so networking is the most required and the most important thing, because networking will definitely help you to meet different people, to get to share your ideas, to share your business, to get more clients, again to collaborate with people who share your same ideas to take you ahead. So, without networking, if you want to run your own firm, if you want to become an entrepreneur, it is really not possible. So, I would suggest and advise the students, if they can start networking during their college days only, that will benefit them a lot, and it will take you ahead a lot at the same time. Again, so in today's, in the present scenario, research is also a very important component. So, if we keep researching, if we keep updating ourselves at what is going on in the world, what are the latest scenarios, what are the latest technologies, what are the latest courses which are coming up. Okay, these are the different updations. But again, with every project, now how even we work in our firm also, with every project, we also involve research. That what can we bring new into our project? What technology can we bring? What software can we bring? What materials can we bring? So I would say that research is also a very important component, a very important skill, which if you practice right from the beginning, it will help you a lot, you know, to bring new ideas into the platform, to keep people fascinated. Okay. Then I would like to mention that it is very important to be passionate about your work, whatever work you are doing. Okay, if you want to be in a creative field, not only in creative field, but uh, any field, I believe if you are passionate about your field, you won't feel it, you know, that you are doing some work, or you have to put in a lot of work, you have to do hard work. You will not feel the challenges as challenges, but you will feel the challenges as you know, a step to success, because you are passionate about your work that will keep you going along with all the challenges. So these are the some of the
Tanaya will be back in a moment. Some technical issue. So in the meanwhile, if the audience have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. We can take them towards the end. Just share your questions in the chat box, everyone. So till the time she comes back, I would like to, what's the role of landscape consultant? Sure, Deepika, once Tanaya comes back, she'll answer that question. And in the meanwhile, Tanaya comes back. Yeah, she'll join back again. I would let's just like to frame the skills she has mentioned. One was designing and creativity skills. The second was communication skills. Then we have presentation skills, presenting yourself at the workplace, as well as presenting the work which you have done. Then we have confidence. You should be confident that whatever designs you are believing, she gave a very nice quote during the intro which she was giving. The world will believe in you only when you believe in your ideas. That's the whole basis of any career you make up, right? Then we have doing a lot of networking. Now we have technology available. So if you start networking right now from the school level, college level, it will help you to take yourself too far ahead. Then we have research skills, keeping yourself updated with the new changes and the technology coming in, upskilling yourself is also required. Then you should also be passionate about your work, right? So these are the some of the skills Tanaya mentioned. Yeah, Deepika, when she comes back, she'll answer that question. And another area which Tanaya mentioned was, if you want to enter this skill, she already had this idea or like that she wanted to do something in the design. And she was also interested in mathematics. So architecture was a field which was combination of design and mathematics. And when Tanaya entered the field, she was in Assam, and there were many, many challenges which she had to face. But one thing which she believed in herself was just believe in yourself and do what you want to do. Yeah. Just give me 1 minute. Tanaya is in the session, but she's not able to unmute and switch on her video. Tanaya, would you want to leave and join back again? Yeah, thank you. So she'll be soon back. In the meantime, we can just have our questions over here. Sanjana, do you want to ask any question from Tanaya? She'll be back soon.
Sachi, there is a setting in participants where you can allow the participants to unmute themselves. So I have unticked that. She should be able to unmute herself now.
Yeah, thank you, Deepika. She'll be joining. Yeah, she's there. Thank you, Sanjana. Tanaya is back and we'll ask questions from her now. Recording, and we have questions from Deepika and Sanjana. What is the role of landscape consultant?
So yeah, as I mentioned that there are a lot of people involved in one project. So there are also a lot of different consultants which are involved. So as we do, first step is your 5 years BH we complete and we get the graduation, that is bachelor's in architecture after 5 years. And after that we can go for masters. There are a lot of subjects in masters which we can pursue, and in that one of the subject is landscape architecture. So there are a lot of subjects nowadays. There are subjects like urban design, town planning, regional urban and regional planning, landscape design, interior design, and a lot of different courses have come up nowadays. So landscape design basically deals with the upgradation of your outside. Any building is existing, so what you want to do in the outside, you can do gardens, you can do plantations, you can do zen gardens, you can have gazebos and a lot of other things which you see, like you can see terrace gardens, gardens outside your house. It also involves, so when we say garden, it sounds like a garden, but garden also involves a lot of thought process and a lot of designing into it. Okay, so landscape designing goes so much into depth that uh, landscape designers specializes into different kinds of plants and trees and the species which are available depending on the different climatic reasons. Because when we see, if we have to understand only in the part of only in our country of India, in the different parts of the country,
A small technical error once again. I hope our audiences will be coordinating with her, as it's technology and we can't help it.
right? So
We have another question about urban planning.
okay. So urban planning, I would say it starts with town planning at a very micro level. Okay, so here it comes. All of you must have heard about town planning. So it starts with planning. If we consider first a very small, even a village or a town, so how that whole town is considered and the planning is done. So after a town, it comes up to a city and whole region. Now, if we say we have to talk about whole Maharashtra or we have to talk about Mumbai, now if we say Mumbai as a city, so previously there was no planning in Mumbai. Okay, so when you can see with Navi Mumbai, with the different places, Navi Mumbai is quite well planned. If you see the city of Chandigarh, Chandigarh is a very well planned city. So, urban planning is about planning of a whole region, we can say, okay, of a city, of a neighborhood, of a city, of a whole region. So it starts with town planning, city planning, urban planning, regional planning, and basically the transition with urban spaces. Now the spaces which we can see in our modern scenarios, those are the urban spaces which we can see. So they deal with uh, a bigger area of planning and not limited to planning or designing of only one building. If I'm sure, I think I'm clear. If there is any doubt, I can clear it further also.
Thank you for that answer, Tanaya. Tanaya, we would
Yeah.
also like to know that when you thought of taking up this architecture, you were in Assam and your favorite
Mhm.
subjects were maths and you like designing. So,
Yeah,
if it is possible for you, like how small were you when you thought of like you want to do this and you started believing in your dreams?
yeah. So I think I was in seventh or eighth standard. Uh, Probably I don't remember exactly, but as far as I remember, I was always fascinated with the world of design. Okay. And at that time, I had access to only one magazine that was Inside Outside, I would say. So I used to read that magazine regularly. And that is a very, nowadays we have a lot of magazines and books of architecture, of interior design. But at that point of time and in my place, so we had only that magazine. And I used to read that magazine regularly, and I used to dream about designing spaces like that one day. And that is where my dreams started, and I definitely then started reading other books of architecture, because we did not have internet at that time, and only access to books. So I used to read different engineering drawing books, architecture books. And as I was interested in both the things, drawing and I would say mathematics. So I thought that this is the best subject which will take me ahead into my journey of architecture. But here I would like to say is definitely that drawing is required in architecture, but the kind of drawing which is required in architecture is very different, we would say. See, sketching is definitely a part and parcel of the whole architecture your journey. Even today, when we start with a project, we start with sketching, the sketching of the concepts in our mind. So the first step is always, interaction with our clients. So when we interact with our clients, we first try to understand what our client wants. Because whenever one client comes to us, they come with a lot of, dreams and, a lot of different pictures and images in their mind. If I have to talk about a dream house, because they come up with the ideas that it is going to be their dream house. So it is our duty to bring those dreams, their dream house, into reality, into existence. So here it becomes very important for us to understand what the user wants, what the client wants first. Only when we understand can we bring that into reality. So the interaction starts with the clients, and as we interact, we start sketching the ideas. We start sketching the ideas, and then we come up with one idea and we present to the client. So, and this process takes, two or three seatings with them, when they will also give us our feedbacks, some changes. Again, we'll do the changes, and then our design will be finalized. So, with the ideas and the dreams of the clients and the users which they come up with, we also put our thought process into it, and we come up with, different concepts, beautiful concepts. We adjoin into it, and the end product is really beautiful. And when we see that, okay, the client is also quite satisfied with the concept, we go ahead with our technicalities. And then we start with the technical drawings, and we give our technical drawings to the different contractors and we start with the process of execution.
Thank you, Tanaya. And with this
Yeah.
sharing, a question comes to our mind that how do you
Yeah.
face challenges or what type of challenges you face when you interact with your clients on day-to-day basis? Do they accept your drawings or do they have objections? How do you handle these things?
Yeah. So, talking about challenges, I would say that this whole journey, one word I would like to mention is that hustle. So, hustle is the word, is the, I think, the right word. I can say that you have to keep hustling since right from you get admission to your first year of architecture. And I think till today, I have been hustling every day because it is not only today, when even we were in college we had to convince our faculties, the professors of our design. Only once they approve, we can go ahead with it. So, we had to clear the exams. And even today, the same thing goes on. We have to hustle, we have to convince our clients. Once the client approves, again, the same hustle goes on with the different, as I mentioned, different contractors, different consultants. A lot of people will be involved, so that challenges are there at every step. First is convincing our client, then comes up, different uh, estimates, budgets, which we have to do. We have to deal with laborers at the site. We have to make them also understand the drawings. And we also have to see that the drawings which we are making are actually coming up on the site. Again, here comes up this, it's not only about the drawings, but then again, it is about procurement of the materials. We also have to see that the materials, they are coming up at the site at the correct time. Materials are properly being taken care of. The cost is being taken care of, quality is being taken care of. So we have to have a control in this whole scenario. We see to that materials are not being wasted, okay, and materials are also of good quality, and even the workmanship is of good quality. So all there are many different aspects, I would say, which are involved in this profession. But again, at the same time, this hustle makes it a very interesting place to be. I would say your life becomes very interesting, and the most interesting part is that you have to deal with different peoples, which I mentioned. You have to deal people with at different levels, basically. So that is the biggest challenge here. And another, I think, yes, important point I would like to mention also here is that relationship building and relationship management is a very important aspect here, because throughout your journey, throughout your projects, you will meet different people. You have to build up your relationships with them, and only building up relationship is not enough. You have to manage the relationships, because sometimes what happens, the bigger projects, it runs from 1 year to 5 year to even I have seen projects running for 13, 14 years. So in this duration, you have to keep your relationships alive with all the people, those who are involved in the project. Okay, so there challenges will come, there will be differences will come up. Lot of things comes up, but still you should know how to handle those challenges, how to tackle the differences, and still manage with the relationships, manage with the different, your team, different people, and keep the project going till the finishing line.
Thank you, Tanaya. We'll remember that
Yeah.
word hustle and managing relationships. Sanjana, I'll come
Yes.
to you. Before that, I just have one more question. You
Yeah.
mentioned in the beginning that you faced many challenges and fortunately your parents supported you.
Yes.
So how did you overcome the other challenges? Because architecture was not a very conventional career. So
Yes.
did you convince your parents or how did it go about?
In the case of my parents, I would like to say that I have been really lucky, because my parents definitely did not question me. They always believed in my dreams, and they believed that whatever I am choosing, I'm definitely choosing a good way for me. But there are always other distractions which I would like to mention. That, to be very frank and honest, 15 years back, when I wanted to pursue this career, as I mentioned, I belong to a small town. So there are a lot of people who were advising my parents that why do you want to send your daughter for such a career? Because construction world is a men's world, to say. So why not some other easy courses, like go for some BBA, MBA. I mean, yeah. So there were a lot of different advices. There were a lot of different distractions, that how she will handle so many people, how she will handle own firm, how she will become an entrepreneur, and a lot of questions were there. Okay, and a lot of questions will be there always in your mind. But yes, in that case, my parents were quite supportive, and I was very determined, and I always believed in my dreams. And I would say one thing, even today, along with being an architect and running an architectural firm, I'm also an entrepreneur, and I have, as Sachi has already mentioned, I have two other ventures also, which I have started with a few of my other co-founders, in which there is which I one of the companies Decoded, in which we have started with that we give platform to the local artisans to produce their work. So first we started with Northeast, where they come up with a lot of there are many different artifacts and materials, fabrics available in Northeast, which are very beautiful, and but which have not come up into the products of home decor and upholstery. So we introduced this platform to the local artisans, and we gave them a chance to come up with beautiful home decor products and upholsteries, and we will take them ahead. We will give them a platform to take their talents ahead. So this is also another venture which I am into, and this is also completely I'm doing out of passion. So even to mention here, to start with a venture, to become an entrepreneur, also it is not an easy job. Okay, but the only one thing which will take you ahead is your determination. I would say if you are determined to do something, then definitely the ways will open up for you. You will meet the right people, and things will definitely fall into place, to say in a very broader aspect.
Thank you, Tanaya. So determination and believing in yourself are the keywords which are to be taken away by all the students. And now we have Sanjana who has a question. Sanjana, can you ask your question?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, what is the current package of beginners usually get these days, and what type of salary were you expecting at the beginning, and now you're getting right now?
Uh, can you please repeat once? It is not clear.
Yes, ma'am. What is the current
Yeah.
package of the beginners usually get these days, and
Mhm.
what was your salary which you were expecting at the beginning, and now you're getting?
Okay. So, see, architecture is, if I have to mention, is a very self-placed subject. Okay. So there are definitely many bigger companies. There are MNCs. So I started my career with an MNC, and at the time, yes, I used to get a good salary, but again, as I mentioned, that it depends where you want to take your career ahead. I always wanted to become an entrepreneur, and I always wanted to have my own firm. So from an MNC, I went to a small firm to learn as a next step, because when I joined a mediocre firm, I was given a bigger role where I could learn about the whole process of architecture. And when I'm in a very bigger, when I was in an MNC, I could not learn that. We were given very small tasks. Okay. And just after, a few years of learning, I started my own journey. I started my own firm. And today, if you ask me, then we are doing our own projects. So when you do your own projects, you will get different projects, like right starting from interior projects to bigger scale project. So if we talk about interior project, one minimum project will be if I have to say a minimum, will be starting from 10 to 15 lakhs of a project, where architects share a percentage of the whole construction cost. So if it is if for interior projects, we share a percentage of 10 to 12 percentage. For architecture projects, we share right from 5% to 10%, depending upon the projects. If the projects are quite bigger, the percentage reduces to around 4-5%, and if the projects are smaller, then the percentage increases. So right now it is when I'm running my own firm, it is all on percentages which we are getting. But to start with, yes, I started with a very minimal salary, as I mentioned to all of you, that from an MNC I shifted to a small firm, because I always wanted to start my own firm, and I always wanted to become an entrepreneur. And I would say that in this field of architecture, there are nowadays definitely bigger companies like L&T and Godrej. A lot of construction companies are there which will pay you really, very good. But this field is always best if anyone wants to become their own boss, have their own firm, and run their own construction company. Then you can earn much and much more than what any job is paying it to you. Also, at the same time, along with your salary packages, you will be getting a lot of satisfaction and contentment of, running your own company at the same time.
Thank you for that answer, Tanaya. Sanjana, you have more questions? You are on mute.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, like, what are the skills which I can learn during my education journey? Like, language.
Your skills related to architecture, you're talking?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, so as I mentioned, see, if I have to be very specific about architecture, then as I mentioned that designing and being creative is very important. Apart from that, sketching is another skill which will really help you, because if you are good in sketching, if you have some concept and some ideas in your mind, you can bring it into the paper. Because many a times when our ideas are in our mind, able to explain to people, to convince others. So the sketching helps. But nowadays there are a lot of softwares also. If anyone is not good in sketching, then there are a lot of softwares. Uh, One simplest software is SketchUp. Okay. So if you want to learn, because SketchUp is very easy software, you can learn there and you can make 3Ds in that softwares. Because now the scenario is that everyone wants, whenever we start with a project, after the approval of the first layout, we have to move to the 3D views and the 3Ds to showcase our, ideas to the client and all other people. So SketchUp is a software which I think anyone can learn. You can learn even in your even before joining architecture, and that will really help you. So these are about technical skills, but if you talk about other technical skills, there are a lot of software nowadays. There are softwares like AutoCAD, SketchUp, Lumion, V-Ray, 3ds Max, BIM, Beam, and yes, also that MS Word, Excel, and PowerPoint is also equally important. And yeah, nowadays there's software called Canva also, Canva, InDesign. Those are very easy softwares which you can learn now itself. Canva, InDesign will help you in your presentations. And other Photoshop is there. Photoshop is also helps you to do, to enhance your flow plans, and do presentation. But before joining architecture, if you want to start with your technical skills, then I would say if you can excel in MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Canva, and SketchUp. That would be great to start with. And apart from that, as I already mentioned, that communication skill, presentation are also equally very important. And if you really want to pursue this career and this professional journey, you should start interacting with a lot of people. You should learn about their experiences. Here, I am sharing my experience. Then definitely, there are many architects who are in this field. Everyone can share their own journey, and you can get to learn a lot about that. Because again, architecture is also a very vast field where there are a lot of different subjects when you go more into depth. So if you talk kind of projects which we work on, so I am more into residential, I would say bungalows, villas, mansions, farmhouses, and also into interiors, residential interiors. We do other projects also like commercial, retail, all kinds of projects. But my personal interest is in more into residential, doing beautiful, villas and second homes, farmhouses, and also we do a lot of interiors. But apart from that, as we had already discussed before, there are fields of urban design, there is landscape, and now when you see today, AI has come up, artificial intelligence, which is really changing, it is changing the whole scenario to say. If you are aware, then I think you should start learning about AI in architecture, which has now come up. And it is making the things very easier, and also reducing a lot number of steps which are involved in the whole process. Might be very soon the whole process will become only 50% of the process with AI into the picture. And recently, as I've come to know that even there is master's course which has come up in architecture, artificial intelligence in architecture.
That was a huge list shared by Tanaya. So good number of
Yes.
courses for students to complete in next
Yes.
4 years and also during their 11th and 12th standard. So one question from you,
Yeah.
Tanaya. After doing bachelor's in architecture, do you advise students to take up some work before going to master's, or they should go for master's, bachelor's, and then start working?
My personal suggestion would be to take up some work, at least for 2 years minimum, because in this professional journey, practical experience is very important. So even after my BH, I had worked for a few years, and then I have done construction management from NICMAR, Pune, and so that really helped me. And as I mentioned, I had done construction management at that time, MBA in construction management, also for the reason that I always wanted to have my own firm, my own company. So the course of construction management really teaches you how do you manage the whole process of construction, how do you run your own practice, how do you run your own company, how do you manage the different aspects when it comes to constructions. But to understand this, it is very necessary that you have at least minimum 2 years of experience to understand the real world, the practical world.
Definitely. So once they gain
Yeah.
experience, they can decide what next steps they need to take it up. Thank you.
Yes, and also to understand your own taste. As I said, that architecture is also a very fast field. In that, where you want to work, what kind of projects you would like to work. To understand that also, it is very important to get into the work for some time and then go for a master's. Because what we learn in college, I would say we are taught about designing, we are taught about technical skills, which I would say is only the 20% of the whole profession. Rest 80% you have to get into the field and you have to learn.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
sharing. Sanjana, do you have
Yeah.
more questions?
Ma'am, no, ma'am, that's it.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience have questions? They can unmute themselves and ask. Thank
So
you.
another, I think, important aspect I would like to mention, I think I missed speaking about it, is about the entrance exams. So if you want to get into the course of architecture, NATA is the exam which is compulsory for all colleges. Apart from NATA, there is also AIEEE and JEE, where you can appear to get into admission into the course of architecture. So AIEEE and JEE takes you to all the IITs and NITs, and NATA is for all the other colleges apart from the IITs and the NITs. And nowadays there's a lot of coachings available for that, and also different books which are available. Question banks are available, which you can refer, and you can prepare yourself for the entrance examination.
Tanaya, we have few more questions. If time permits,
Yeah.
can we continue?
Yes, sure.
So what kind of projects do you have? How have you done till late? And what is the minimum budget requirement? That's a question from Jitendra Diman. You can unmute
Okay.
and switch on your camera as well if you want. Yeah.
So we have basically, as I mentioned, all kinds of projects, residential, commercial, retail, but we are more into residential projects like bungalows, villas, mansions, apartments, and also interiors. And so to start with, I have done a lot of, different bungalows, villas, second houses, farmhouses, and recently I have done a project in Atlanta, US also. So I have collaboration with an architect and a builder there in US, and we do all the designs and the drawings here, and we send them, and then they look after the execution. I have projects in Assam also. We have completed in Bhubaneswar also, in Goa, in Pune. So I have projects all over the places. I have different teams which are placed in different corners of the country, and now we have started with US, and we have also plans to start with New Zealand basically. And here, if I have to say that the key which is taking me so far is the design basically, as I have to say, because if people like your design, then definitely you can work anywhere of the world. And also networking, as I mentioned, and collaboration. When you learn to network and collaborate with different people, you can have projects, you can work in different parts of the world, basically. Yes.
Thank you for
What is the requirement?
Yeah.
Pardon?
One more question.
Budget requirement.
Project requirement.
Yeah. Because sometimes we have met so many Indian architects. So they say हम लोग 30 लाख से
Yeah.
नीचे नहीं 40 लाख से नीचे नहीं करते. So उनका एक budget fix होता है कि इतना ही हम लेते हैं नहीं लेते. So do you have any
Yeah.
fixed budget requirement, or depending on how you go for a quotation, like you visit the client space, you measure the area, you see online करते हैं, या अगर आप मुझसे पहले फोन पे पूछ लेते हैं आपका 1 BHK तो मैं आऊंगी ही नहीं, 2 BHK है तो मैं आऊंगी. No, you have certain parameters. So what is your parameter?
Yeah.
Yeah, before Tanya answers
see.
that question, Tanya,
Yeah.
just 1 minute. So before Tanya
Yeah.
answers that question, I would request Tanya to reply to you on WhatsApp. And if she can write the answer to us, we'll send it to you. Because right now we have students and we want to know only career-related aspects of the architecture. If you don't mind, we will reply to your questions, but we will send it to you on WhatsApp, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, no issues.
Yeah.
So my understanding was wrong. I
No,
thought
no, no,
ki
your understanding is right. We will send you the reply on the WhatsApp.
no issues.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
for
thanks.
understanding and cooperating.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Tanya, we have another question for you. Like you
Yeah.
have this work role wherein you have to work in a planned manner as well as you have to work in an unstructured manner. So if a student who is
Yes.
very planning oriented and there is another student who is very unstructured, he doesn't like planning. So which type
Mm-hmm.
of profile suits more into architecture? You might be facing students who might be coming to your organization and you also
Yes.
might be working. So is this field more planning oriented or unstructured?
Yeah, to say, see, this construction industry is unstructured. Yes, it is, but planning always helps. I would say planning is definitely required. Even as I mentioned that I have also done construction project management. So before starting with any project, we first plan it out in detail. Like we plan the whole time schedule, we plan the different works once the design is finalized. So, and we prepare a complete schedule that which task is going to take how much of time, how much of cost, and how much of materials. So everything is planned and moved on. But yes, definitely what happens is that some inconvenience, some problems definitely it comes up. So when it comes up, you again need to schedule your planning and do another replanning again and start your work. But planning always helps your work in a much better way to complete your project successfully and with the targeted cost and the targeted quality. So I would advise, I would suggest everyone, every student to keep planning as the, one of the most important aspect in your journey.
So planning as well as going unstructured. So being open to both the places and more of planning is
Yeah.
required. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank
Planning always helps. Yeah, yeah.
We have one more question which students keep asking is this
Hmm.
field more of a desk job or is more of travel related? So what type of personalities are more suitable? Is it like realistic personalities or the people who like to work in ACs and office?
I would say that you really have to be very proactive. So, so the thing is that see now today, the position where I am in most of the times, me along with my associates, so we have to, what we have to do, our major work is we have to think about the business development. We have to think about our clients, about we have to interact with our clients most of the times. So when a project comes up, the first initial client interactions is being done by us, understanding the project and starting with the design, and then we hand it over to our juniors. They continue with the technical drawings and ahead. But we have to attend to the meetings, we have to visit the site, we have to look after if the works and the sites are going on, properly. Uh, and definitely when the clients calls us for any meeting anywhere, so we have to be there. We have to visit the different vendors to see the different materials, new materials which have come up which we can use. So definitely you have to be proactive. That is one thing I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely not a office 9 to 5 job. So all those who want to sit in an AC office, this is not for you. You have to be on your toes all the
No,
time.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Please
it,
continue.
it it is so. Yeah, I would say that you can sit in AC and work when it is a job, but if you want to become an owner, you want to become a boss, you want to run your own firm, then you cannot keep sitting in the office, I would say. So you have to understand the role which you are playing. If you are an employee, then definitely it's you can sit in the office and work. But as you keep moving into a higher position, then definitely you have to be really on your toes and you have to be proactive. Yeah.
With this answer, I get one more question which students ask us. What is the difference
Mhm.
between the role and the job profile of a civil engineer and an architecture?
Okay. So I think the biggest and the most important difference here is the designing aspect. That architecture, right from the beginning of their first year, they are taught about designing and the thought process, how you can, develop your thought process in a better way. You think about concepts, you think about ideas, and bringing those concepts and ideas into technical drawings and then executing it. Wherein in civil engineering, it is more about the construction. So when we also work in a project, we work together with the civil engineers also. They look after the construction which takes place at the site, and it is more about the execution. But as an architect, our role is first and foremost role is how we bring up ideas, how we bring a difference into our designs. So you can see that when we design the projects, so the projects are quite different, I would say. And here the designs, create a difference, I would say. We have to make a difference into the world.
Yeah, that difference will definitely help our students to decide whether they want to go for civil engineering or architecture, because this question
Yeah.
keeps coming in the minds of all these students almost who want to enter this.
Yeah, I
Now,
understand
I have
completely.
2 more questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The
Sure.
students who are now passing out, you have been into this field. So what is the
Yeah.
difference in the mindset that the students now they have? Do you have any advice for them or any compliment for them to carry on?
I would say, as I've been also involved into academics, so right now also I'm associated with the Pillai College of Architecture. I also have an, did a lot of interaction with the students. So I would say that I would really compliment them because I see the students doing really a good job, doing a lot of hard work. And if I look back since the day when we started our architecture journey, today the world is very different and very competitive. Even if a lot of softwares have come up which is making the things very easier in this profession, but also competition is there equally. Students have to learn a lot of softwares, have to do a lot of hard work, and they have to learn a lot of things, basically, I would say. So, and I have seen the students doing that and coming up with wonderful jobs. So, I would really like to compliment them. And my suggestion would be that keep doing the hard work and keep moving forward with, a lot of determination and keep learning, new technologies and new materials and bringing a difference into this world.
Thank you for answering that question. How do you see the
Yeah.
future of architecture in India and abroad, according to your experience?
So I would say the future is really changing if we have to see into this field. And with, as I already mentioned, with artificial intelligence coming into this picture, I think the whole scenario is going to change of the whole process. So right now, I think that it is going to make the things more interesting. But at the same time, the future is also changing, yes. So now, being an architect, we are also responsible for our society and also for our environment. So I think now we should also think about our environment while being in this field also. We should think how we are contributing to our environment with, sustainable design, green design. So sustainable and green design is something which plays, which has taken up a very important part in this profession. And also, from the macro level, things are really going into a micro level, I would say. There's a lot of demand. If I have to I have to speak about the residential scenario where the cost is increasing in the construction world. So things are coming up to a micro level. How can we benefit to the whole society by providing, micro homes, tiny homes? Even if the space is small, within a small space, how can we provide all the facilities? So the things are basically, the scenario is changing, and at the same time, it is also becoming very interesting. So I think the field of architecture and construction goes hand in hand with the society and the environment. As the things in our environment and society keeps changing, and we also have to keep changing and updating ourselves with the technologies and the designs we do for the people.
Thank you for answering that question. So AI will not be a threat to students anymore. They can incorporate their ideas and use AI to grow in this field. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Now,
Correct.
you have traveled this field and you have overcome challenges, you have believed in yourself, you have
Yeah.
advice for students for the skills and the courses. Now, before you leave, if assuming now with this all the knowledge you had to start your journey, or there is a student you want to guide, what is that one piece of advice you would tell them to always keep it in mind and go ahead in this field?
I think I have already mentioned in between my discussions. So as I have already mentioned, my advice would always be that the most important thing is that believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. So there is, I think, a quote in Gita that a man is made by what you believe in. So what you believe, that you become. If you believe that you can do it, then definitely you can do it. You really need to be positive and you need to believe in yourself and in your dreams. As I mentioned in the beginning itself, that in my whole batch, none of my friends wanted to do architecture. And I was thinking for some moments, that is there anything wrong with me that I'm going for an unconventional course? But then today when I look back, I realize that I'm really thankful to myself that I believed in myself. I believed in my dreams, and that is why I'm here today. And so I think that that is the most important thing. We need to believe in ourselves, and we need to dare to be different, and at the same time being positive in whatever we do. And we are always there to guide and mentor all the students. Any student, if anyone needs any suggestions or guidance from me, I'm also always there to help them.
Thank you for that beautiful sharing, Tanaya. For more than 60 minutes, 75 minutes, you have been speaking and guiding students about your journey, challenges, education requirements, skill sets, mindsets, and the various work roles and the projects you have handled. I
Yeah.
am 100% sure if any student who wants to be in this field and they have listened to you, or they might be listening to your recording, they will definitely benefit from it. And on behalf
Thank
of
you
the
so much.
complete unit Niche Career Guidance, I would like to thank you for coming today and sharing your journeys. I was aware how nervous we all were before starting the session, but I am thankful to you for opening up and showing up, sharing up everything you had. We all want to thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sachi, for giving me this opportunity too, for sharing my journey and sharing my knowledge with all the students. That is always, sharing knowledge is always a very great opportunity. And you really made me look into my journey too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanaya. And all the questions which were not answered, you can share it to me on WhatsApp or on the chat, and we will share it with Tanaya and she'll revert back to that. Thank you everyone for
Sure.
coordinating. And with this, we will end the session. See you again on the next episode, Career Journey, Real World Real Insight, episode number 5. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.